story, that's my title for today. About me. What about me? Honestly, I don't think I'm anything more special than anybody else in this world. So as I was trying to think of what I could possibly, that I could think of telling you guys today that would be worthwhile sharing with you, I started thinking and I realized that I'm truly my stories, basically. My whole series of stories that just weave, by the end of the day, one bigger story, my life story. And this is what actually makes all of you also special, right? The series of your stories that weave your life story. So as every good story, this one as well comes with some key points and junctions that give it a bit of a character, as I say. These symbols are presented right here in front of you. And they would kind of help me give you a visual of what constitutes me. So thing number one, coffee. I discovered coffee after graduating from high school. It was a great discovery, and I can proudly declare that I have made up for all the lost time, all the lost years. It's rich scent in the morning, the warmth when you hold that cup between your fingers, the fulfillment of that first cup of the day, the first sip of that first cup of the day, and then the second, and the third, and who keeps score, right? So it's really hard to keep track of things that you really, really enjoy. So the cups increased, and the amount of guilt also increased proportionally, because when you have a really anti-coffee drinker mother, then guilt is bound to kick in when you get questions like, how many cups did you have today? In fact, how many cups do you have per day? So that would, answering that question would lead to a lie, which opposes to my value system. So I had to come up with a workaround. I switched my cup to a jug. I renamed my jug, to a cup. And the answer was a miraculous acceptable number, 2. And it wasn't really a lie anymore. It's what I would call an omission. So less guilt for me. Thing number 2, laptop. For the past decade, my laptop has been a rather visible and a bit heavy extension of my hands. Think of it. What can't you do with a laptop these days? Pretty much nothing. Okay. It can fulfill my thing number 1, but I give it a few years until we actually get it to brew coffee for us. My laptop is an extraordinary piece of equipment. When it runs Linux, it's the absolute tool. I can do everything with it. It never leaves my side. I've literally slept on the keyboard a few times. But when it runs Windows, I don't know, I become instantly illiterate. It's not that I don't know Windows, but I'm convinced by now that it's mostly a case of denial. That is, disliking something enough can lead to full dismissal for no obvious reasons. Well, to be fair, an obvious reason would be that trying to do one simple task on Linux can lead to a series of random things on Windows that can take up a whole lot of time, and I call these unnecessary. Thing number 3, my camera. Photography is my hobby. It's my passion. It was always Nikon. I have a strict non-Canon policy. Initially, photography for me was a way of hanging on to my memories, because I didn't have any siblings to say, oh, remember that time when we did this, and laugh about it. As an adult now, photography has taken a deeper, more profound meaning for me. A lot of things are forgotten or lost. However, capture one moment on a photograph, and that moment will live forever. That one picture will eternally remain the proof of this instant ever existing in the trace of time. And it will always tell a story. Every time a different one. And where everything else is so volatile, when everything else is so volatile, it will always tell a story, and it will always be a different one for each pair of eyes that will see it. It will always be a special and unique memory, and this is what I get from pictures. Nothing is more captivating and intriguing than this. So thing number 4. I'm sure you've been wondering about this since, as you can see, I have only 3 of these here. But there is one more thing, maybe the most important one. You. All of you. I'm in love with people. After I was born, ever since the beginning of my time on this earth, I would always love people. I would always want to talk to you guys and get to know you better and learn a little bit of more information about you every day. Inevitably, I have to quote my mother again. You spoke your first words very early, and then ever since you didn't put your tongue in your mouth ever again. Think about it. So many different personalities out there, each and one with their individual characteristics, their individual little habits, little glitches, but yet unique in every way. So these are a few parameters that constitute me. I'm sure I'm not the only one person who loves coffee or photography or laptops or people, but I am individual and unique in some sort of way, and it's upon others to discover why, I guess, but I can assure you I'm not a disappointment. Thank you.
So I will let's take 1 minute to write all your innovations. Feedback to the So we don't have a second speaker. So next table topics. Okay.
Transferring control to our tabletop master. Thank you, Nancy. Give everyone just a few more moments to wrap up their evaluations. Well, it's Halloween. I get to play Santa Claus today as your table topic master. I see we have no guests today, so everyone understands the basic premise of table topics.